Hey,
What's up, my friend?
all right. So I was thinking, we should talk about that Casey Anthony thing a little bit.
Alright, you want to do Parkland?
I don't know. I think that's kind of dumb, dude. If we do,
Yeah, we probably don't have our notes on it. Okay. Alright, you start with Casey Anthony, and I'll lead in.
all right. So, I mean, I think you might know a little more about this case than me because you just told me that you studied the
Yeah,
shit out of
I,
it.
I know about that as much as I do Kennedy, so yeah, okay.
Well, so she's got this kid. No one really knows who the daddy is, right?
No.
All right. And by all means and purposes, she's a good mom. Am I correct?
No.
Okay. See, this is where
No, she's not a good mother at all, no.
actually I've heard in some of the testimony at the trial. I watched one of her friends say that when she was pregnant, she wanted to have an abortion.
That's true.
Okay. So she didn't want to have the baby, but she did, and
No, and
basically
she
her
actually had a tattoo put on the back of her on her back,
yeah,
um that was some Italian thing, Viva or
yeah,
something, life is
yeah,
good.
crazy life, crazy life.
Yeah. So no, she was not a good mother, so no, I will dispute that.
Okay, so I'm not trying to have disputed. I'm just trying to figure out shit myself. So
Okay.
basically, she has this baby, and the parents are basically the ones that want the baby the most, right?
Yeah, that's a fair statement.
Okay, so what happens? What happens when this baby goes to school or daycare or whatever it was that she went to that morning and never came back?
Well, I'm not sure where the kid went to. They said she dropped her off at the Zanny Nanny.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as an investigator or somebody who considers myself above average intelligence, there's some wow, there's some well nice little nuggets there. I didn't even know I had them.
What
Um,
is it?
some nuggets.
What, some weed?
Yeah, I didn't know I had them. Um,
Oh shit, hell yeah.
all right, so here's where I'm going to is that um as an investigator or somebody I'm not an investigator, I'm not even a smart guy, I just think I have above average intelligence, but the kid goes missing for 30 days.
Yes, this is a problem.
All right. So the parent keeps asking where the kid's at. Now, if I got a kid and a wife or whatever, and my kid goes missing for 12 hours,
Right.
6 hours, 4 hours,
Absolutely.
3 hours,
Yeah.
25 minutes, I want to know where the fuck is the kid at.
Yeah.
So the
Not only that,
parents go
the
30
parents
days. So
the
the parents
parents the
go,
parents made a statement saying that Kaylee Anthony, the child that we're talking about, they never left her. She's never been gone longer than 12 hours. Longer.
and they go 30 days before they report the kid missing.
Yeah. So
Now,
explain this.
I'm not sitting here accusing parents of anything, but if that's my kid, where's the goddamn kid at?
Right.
You know, now I'm gonna tell you, I don't have a kid. I got a dog, but I don't know if my dog. If I can't find my dog, I'm ripping every goddamn part of the house around looking for the dog. So you go 30 days without finding the kid, and
Not saying anything, not just
you waited 30 days before you called the police.
right there. That's suspect right there.
Mhm. So now I think the parents were just as much as complicit as what the kids were, if you want to know my personal opinion on it.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't think the parents killed the kid,
No, me neither. No,
but
no.
I think the parents was covering up for it. Because why are you going to wait for your 30 days for your kid to come up missing?
So you are you saying that you think the parents knew that whole 30 days? Because I don't. Because on
I,
that 911 call where
Mike, how could you not? How could you not know where the grandkid was for 30 days? And even if she gives you some bullshit story, how are you not going to the police and finding out? How can you not go find out where the kid's at?
well, the reason why I say that the parents didn't know is because in the 911 call, they actually say we've retrieved our daughter's car and it smells like there's been a dead body in the damn thing.
But you waited 30 days before you made that call?
Well, they had that, but they didn't wait. That's when they found the car.
Okay, but even let's subtract the car from it, Mike. Okay, use your common sense. Let's subtract the car from it. Let's just say there's not even a car there. You ain't
Okay.
seen the kid in 2 or 3 days, and you're asking, "Where's my kid at? Where's my grandkid?" I don't know where the kid's at, and you're not gonna start questioning where's the kid at. I mean, come on now,
Okay,
brother.
so you definitely know more about it than me than I do. So you're saying the whole 30 days, those parents were not asking about that child?
I don't know what happened during 30 days. Well, let me ask you something, Mike. If you had a kid by a woman, or whatever, if you had a child and that kid, you've not seen the kid in 2 or 3 days, and you want to know where the kid's at, and you start asking questions, "Where's my baby at?" Are you gonna wait another 27 days before you call the police?
No.
Are you gonna wait before you find the car before it smells like a dead body before you call the police?
Hmm.
I mean,
My
it takes.
question was, do you think that the parents knew those that she was missing the whole 30 days?
Yes,
Okay.
I think the parents were covering up for her.
Okay. Now,
I
do
mean,
you have
let me ask
any?
you, Mike. I mean, you're a man. I'm a man. We don't have kids, but if that was your child and that child was missing for 24 hours, would you wait another 29 days before you call the police?
Hell no.
Hell, I'd be on the phone that goddamn minute.
Okay, so
Where's
do you
my
think?
kid at? Where's my fucking kid?
Okay, so we know that she was taking the drug Xanax a lot.
Yes.
And she named that her sitter or her nanny was called Zanny the Nanny.
Yeah.
But she also gave a full name of this woman, Zanita or some shit. And there
Yeah.
was actually a woman named that
Yes.
who had nothing to do with the case.
Right.
So I think I heard the dad say a few times that he would see Kaylee, the baby, sleep for hours and hours and hours, and sometimes wake up with bags under her eyes.
Well, if you give a kid a little bit of a Xanax, 2 year old, of course they are.
Oh, of course. Okay, so let's speculate. What happened to that baby?
All right, here's what I think happened. I think she got pregnant, didn't want the kid, would use the zaddy daddy to put her out. Then one day she gave the kid a little bit too much Xanax. Kid died, and I think people would call me crazy. Her father was a ex detective from the police department. I think he disposed of the body.
I
You'd be
thought you
lucky.
told me earlier that you thought he was innocent and that they railroaded that poor man.
I think he railroaded him on several things, but I think also he had enough love for his daughter that he was here in a prison. The kid was already dead. There's nothing he could do for it. So they put the body out there to let it decompose where they could not find anything out about it. Then they
Yeah, I'm
found out.
feeling all right, Michelle. Why? Oh yeah, from the accident? Not quite. I'm still doing a lot of physical therapy recovery.
I'm sorry, what, brother?
No, I was just responding to a comment.
So, I think that the father put the body out there because nobody would look for it there, and he was trying to protect her. Because if you ever look at when the verdict was read, they never said a word. They just walked out. Um, do I think he killed her? No. Do I think he tried to protect his daughter? Yes. I think the mother tried to cover it up. There's a lot of unanswered. I can't answer every question. I think her mother perjured herself and lied through her teeth on the stand.
Uh, oh,
I
no doubt
watched that
about no
woman's
doubt,
testimony and
no
she
doubt about it.
lied through her fucking teeth on the stand.
Yes, because at first she said that on the 911 call, she said it smelled like a goddamn dead body. And then on the stand, she said, "No, no, no, I'm mistaken that. That
Well,
was
then there were
garbage."
things on the computer that she was looking at.
What?
There were things on the computer they were looking at about, you know,
Chloroform?
chloroform and all this right here. And they, the defense said, and that's when I would have voted to acquit because the defense said one day you say she's murdered by drowning, one day she's murdered by chloroform, one day she's murdered by something else. Well, which one is it? You can't have it all three ways. And I was like, well, you know what? You've got enough reasonable doubt in my mind that you can't prove that she killed that kid, so there's no way I could convict her. Now do I think she killed her? Maybe
Unintentionally.
unintentionally. No, I don't think she killed her intentionally. No, I don't.
Right now, we're talking about the Casey Anthony case.
This is our what 10th podcast, or
Mm-hmm.
have you put it out there, or do I need to put it out there?
Oh, no, I'll do it. By all means, if you guys have any opinions on the Casey Anthony case, say something.
Now, me as Christopher
Okay.
Michael Peaks, I will tell you that I would have voted to acquit Casey Anthony. There's no way I would have sent her to prison. Not because I believe that she was innocent, because I do not believe the prosecution proved their case. And if and according to the law, if there is reasonable doubt in your mind,
Right.
you cannot convict.
Right. Right. I do think the prosecution did a shit job. Um, but I do think she killed her kid.
I don't think she intentionally killed the kid. No.
No, and I said not intentionally, but I think she gave that kid Xanax for
Too much
whatever
Xanax.
reason.
When you give a infant, a bar of Xanax,
Done.
yeah,
Done.
you know, and I'm prescribed benzos because I have high anxiety levels. I mean,
Yeah. And I mean, what do you take? What do you take? A milligram?
Oh, and I take a bar.
So 2 milligrams a day.
Yeah, I get I take 3 milligrams a day for 30 days. I take one in the morning, one in the evening, one at night.
Yeah, Michelle, I think she was guilty too. We're saying that maybe the death wasn't intentional.
Oh no, I don't think at all she intended to kill that kid. Now I can also go in something else because the mother loved that kid so much. I think if you want to go through this theory, I think that the mother loved the kid more than she loved her, and there was some jealousy there, and there could have been that right there too. But you've got such a case that has so many twists and turns on it that being on a jury, there's no way I would have convicted her.
Yeah, you mean the way the prosecution and the defense pled their cases?
Yeah, they had nothing on her, really. You couldn't prove how
No.
the kid died. You couldn't prove when the kid died. You couldn't prove
Yeah.
who killed the kid. You couldn't prove how long the body had been dead. I mean, you basically had no case against her.
Right. And no matter how much you suspect that she may have killed that kid, in a court of law, it's beyond a reasonable doubt.
Beyond a reasonable doubt. And if you are and the thing I hate is with most jurors is when you go in there, you automatically say, "Oh, they're guilty." No, when you go into a court of law, you look at the person, and you have to decide beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Michelle, we both think that she did it, just not intentionally.
And Michelle, I mean, I'm sorry I'm not even reading the comments now that you've put up here. I mean, maybe I should put them up there. But Michelle, okay, Michelle Connell, okay, sorry. So who else did it? Um, Thank you for telling me that. Hey, buddy. Sorry, Michelle. No, I'm not saying Casey Anthony is innocent by no means. What I'm
Uh-uh.
saying is, what I'm saying is, as a juror, had I sat on that case, there's no way I could have came out with a conviction of guilty because the prosecution could not tell me how she died, when she died, how she died. Michelle,
Yep.
none of that matters. Michelle, none of that matters. You have to prove that she killed the kid, and the prosecution could not prove how she killed the kid. Well, Michelle, then you're just
It's not just the prosecution, it's the way the defense presented the case that also
well,
led the jury.
Michelle, then what about decomposed body parts? I mean, that doesn't prove guilt. Michelle,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day,
I'm not
me,
arguing.
you, and
Here's what's going on, Michelle. Yes, you do have to prove how she died. Yes, that's part of the case. Yes, ma'am. Yes, it
beyond a
does.
reasonable doubt. Beyond a
Yeah, you
reasonable
have to
doubt.
prove how she died. You can't say, okay, she died. And that was one thing. I said, the
No, no,
prosecution's,
Michelle means you don't know. You don't have to prove like specifically how she died. You have to prove that she died at the hands of Casey.
and
That's
nobody
what
could
Michelle.
prove that.
Right, exactly. They didn't do a good job of that, and the
Look, I'm
defense
not
really.
sitting here. Not, by all means, Michelle. I'm not. Well, okay, Michelle. How can you prove she died? What if she just had crib death? You don't know how she died. They could not prove how she died, Michelle. The prosecution even said that. No, Bob, nobody could prove how she died. That's the thing. Nobody. Well, of course, Michelle. Oh my God, she died, but nobody could prove she died.
No, anybody can prove that she died. She was dead in the woods.
Well, you tell me, Michelle, how did she die?
Me personally, I think she was drugged unintentionally.
You know what? I don't even. I will even go as far as long as she drowned in the pool.
Yeah, I agree. Casey Anthony definitely the murderer, no doubt about it.
But you know, I
Yeah,
don't like.
Dave, just hang
Well,
on,
I
man.
don't like being called. I mean, some people say you're crazy, you're an idiot, and I know nobody said that, but you know, when I look at things right there, as I look at as a juror as a reasonable doubt, and you have to prove to me beyond a smoking gun. You have to show me how they died, how they did it. I think Mike will tell you that, as a JFK person, um, you have not proved to me that Oswald did it. You have to show me with a smoking gun that they put that in their hand and they killed that person. Otherwise, are we going to send somebody to prison for the rest of their life on just
No,
circumstantial evidence?
I think you're getting a little confused, Michelle. He's not saying that Casey didn't kill the baby. He's not saying that. He believes Casey killed the baby. He's saying that the prosecution didn't do a good enough job to convince the jury that she did.
They didn't convince me that. I mean, I never said that Casey was innocent. I said they did not prove to me beyond a reasonable doubt. And that's what our court system says is you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that somebody is guilty. And if there is any kind of reasonable doubt in your mind, then you have no choice but to acquit. It doesn't matter if you say, oh, I know that some bitch is guilty, but beyond a reasonable doubt. If there's any doubt in your mind, then you have to acquit.
Well, I personally think she killed the baby. I think if it hadn't been for that stupid fucking story that the defense came up with, that she would have been found guilty. I mean, dude, you
Let me
could
ask
put.
you this, Mike. I mean, because you said I know more about it than you do. Would you have voted to convict?
Yeah, I would.
On what basis, Mike?
I could just tell by her demeanor in the courtroom.
Mike,
Uh,
that does not mean reasonable doubt.
but there's 11 other jurors with me. I'm just saying my point of view would have been, yeah, guilty.
And 12 found her not guilty.
I know. Oh, I understand. I'm not. Dave, we're in the middle of a conversation, man.
Okay, so of course it does what, Michelle? What does? Do you understand? I mean, first of all, let me tell you something, because I've been on trial before. I've stood trial many times. And the judge said, Mr. Peaks does not have to prove to you anything. The prosecution has to prove to you that he did that. So they did not do that. So, they did not prove it to the jury. And the judge said that Mr. Peaks does not have to prove to you a thing. Not anything does Mr. The burden of proof lies with the prosecution. That's what makes our judicial system great. Now, is it great that yes, I've been on a jury, Michelle.
I never have.
And that's what makes our jury system great is the prosecution has to prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt. If there's any doubt in your mind, the slightest doubt that maybe this person didn't do it, then you have no choice but to acquit.
And the doubt came from the defense's story.
The defense destroyed the prosecution. No, it's not on the defense; it's on the prosecution. Why don't you read it back? Because when I stood trial, my judge said Mr. Peaks does not have to prove to you anything. The prosecution has to prove to you that Mr. Peaks is guilty. Mr. Peaks
Yeah.
does not have to take the stand. That's what the Fifth Amendment says, Michelle, that you do not have to testify against yourself. Okay, you do not have to take the stand. Okay, so go back and look at your 10th Amendments, and why don't you read the 5th, and then you come back and talk to me before you start talking about this right here. Okay, yes, they have to prove their case.
Right. Right. And they would have proved their case if it hadn't been for the defense.
Well,
That
no, Mike, they couldn't have. They could not prove how the kid died. They could not prove when the kid died. They could not prove who the cause of death was. They could not prove who killed the kid. So therefore, you got a whole bag of worms there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, who killed the kid? How the kid died? When the kid died? What was the cause of death? You can't prove any of that.
Yeah. But I mean, all three of us, Michelle, me, you, and Chris, think that Casey Anthony is guilty. We're not saying that.
But not beyond a reasonable doubt.
In the courtroom, but in all actuality, I think she killed her
Do
kid.
you think you should convict somebody just because
No, I'm not talking about in the courtroom. I'm just talking about my own logic tells me that she killed her kid.
Okay, but was there a reasonable doubt in your mind?
No,
And what are you basing that on, Mike?
I'm not talking about the trial. I'm basing
No,
it
I'm
on
asking you. You said you think she's
okay.
guilty. You would have convicted.
Okay,
So
I'm basing it on the 30 days that went by, the smell of the dead body in her truck, I mean in her car, her leaving her car beside a dumpster because she says she ran out of gas. I'm basing it all
what
on
about
that.
the parents, Mike? What about the parents?
What about them?
Why didn't they call the cops after 30 days?
That's what I was asking you. I thought the parents.
How did the kid die, Mike?
I personally think that the kid died by Casey Anthony giving her
Yeah, what
Xanax.
did the pathologist say? How'd the kid die?
I don't know.
Okay.
They couldn't tell. The body was too decomposed, actually.
So you're going by just because you thought she did it. So therefore, you'll send somebody to prison for the rest of their life just on what you think.
No, I'm not talking about me sending anybody to prison. I'm just saying what my own opinion is. That's all.
But I'm saying if you're on that jury, you don't think there was reasonable doubt for acquittal?
I think the defense spun a good enough web. Yes.
That's not the
Yes.
question I asked you. I asked you if you was on that, was there a reasonable doubt for acquittal?
Yes.
Had you been in that jury room, would you have voted to convict or acquit?
That's a tough question.
I mean, Mike, Let's think about something right here, okay? I know that's a dead child, and nobody wants to see a dead child. I mean, we don't want to see a puppy or anybody else hurt. But you're talking about sending somebody to prison for the rest of their life. So do you have enough confidence to say that you're going to send her to prison for the rest of her life when you can't prove how she died, when she died, how the kid was murdered?
Right.
Can you sit there and honestly tell me that you would send that person to prison for the rest of their life?
I'm not sure what I would have done if I was in the jury, but from my own personal opinion right now, I would want her in jail for the rest of her life right now. I would not want her to be free right now.
Well, you know what, Mike? And I love you to death, brother. But I hope you never sit on a jury with me.
Well, you don't have to worry about that. I'm fucking convicted felon. I'll never be on a jury.
Because I want somebody with a reasonable mind who can sit there and say the prosecution did not prove their case.
Oh, I'm saying that the prosecution did a shit job.
Well, then how can you sit there and tell me that she should go to prison if the prosecution cannot prove their
Oh,
case?
Michelle, this is my friend Chris. I met him. He's a good friend of mine. Met him online. But we go back and forth on the JFK case. We have debates on it.
We're
I think
very good friends,
Oswald.
Michelle. I'm nice to meet you.
Yeah, he's good people, Michelle. But I believe Oswald acted alone in the Kennedy case. He believes there was a conspiracy.
I don't believe Oswald ever fired a shot.
Yeah, I mean, Michelle might be in the conspiracy minded set with the
But
Kennedy
Mike,
case. I
I
don't know
want to go
what.
back in. Could you actually sit there in good conscience and go to sleep with your night, go to sleep at night saying guilty on that?
Casey Anthony?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Like I said, I hope you never sit on a jury trial with me.
I don't think she ever acted as an innocent person.
Mike, you know what? And I watch these things all the time, brother, on Dateline and Forensic Files and all this stuff right here and stuff like this right here. You don't know how somebody's going to act when they're put in that situation.
She did not act innocent. No way.
But you can't tell that, Mike. I watch all the time, and I hear these stupid investigators say, "Oh, well, they didn't act like an innocent person." Well, how do you know what somebody's going to do? Because I can tell you right now, Mike. Let's just say me and you get in an argument, and something goes down, and I kill you, or something like this right here, or somebody else kills you, and they start me in question. Hell, I'm going to be defiant as hell. I'm going to be defiant as hell telling these cops to fuck off and go to hell. I'm not asking your questions. Get me a lawyer in here. I ain't got a goddamn thing to say to you. And then they're going to play out for the jury going, oh, well, look, he doesn't act like an innocent person.
Right.
So you
No,
can't tell me.
I understand. I understand. This is just my opinion. Oh, OJ, Michelle, 100%. He killed her.
Did she ask me about OJ?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you think OJ's guilty?
Me?
Yeah.
Some of it should have got the goddamn death penalty.
Yeah, exactly.
You heard that? What, me?
I can't see. I wasn't paying attention.
My eyes are going so bad I gotta put my grandfather's glasses on to look.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
so Mike, do you want to do a little we talked about it earlier. I mean, you want to keep doing this podcast right now because I think it's going good. We can talk about some other trials. You want to do the Parkland
Yeah,
thing?
we were gonna go into the OJ thing real quick.
All right, so all right, well, go ahead, Mike. You lead in, brother.
Okay, because Michelle's talking about the thing I was
I'll
telling
tell
you
you
about.
what now. Hey, Michelle, you ask us questions and we'll answer for you, okay? Hey, and will you get Michelle? Will you put it out so Michelle can subscribe to our thing,
Oh
okay?
yeah, I got you. I got you.
Michelle, please subscribe to that, and you ask us questions, and we'll answer it for you. But please subscribe because me and Mike's trying to make some money off our podcast now. But yeah, Michelle, go ahead. You fire away with your first question. I'll even let Mike answer or whatever. But and by the way, Michelle, I don't know where you're from, but I don't know if you can
She's from
tell.
Boston.
Michelle, I'm a good old Southern boy. I hope you like us Alabama boys. And
I grew up with Michelle.
but say there's a rumor here, that we don't have our teeth, but God, I have a pretty smile on. Look at that. Look at those teeth. But anyway, Michelle, ask your first question about OJ, and I'll let Mike answer, or you can answer or whatever. Hey, Michelle, subscribe to that, okay? Hey, Mike, do me a favor.
Yeah.
The other night we cut out, and we was having a really good back and forth on Parkland. If it ever happens again, just cut out and say, "Hey, um, it ended or whatever. This is our podcast. I'm signing off for the night," and just post it, okay? Because we had a really good thing there going. So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
this not end it. Okay, so what was your question, Michelle?
Oh, I couldn't read it because I was typing that
She said
thing.
already. She said already asked. What was your question?
Okay, and until she types it again, I would like to say that I think OJ is, and I always have, 100% guilty.
No, I don't. I don't remember, Michelle. I don't remember what your question was. I
I'll
saw that
find out,
thing.
man. Just scroll up.
Yeah, we're on. I don't know. Ask me a question about OJ and I'll answer it.
I can't find it.
Well,
Yeah, Michelle,
Mike's a good friend of mine, man. Once I get my state settled, man, Mike's gonna fly to Boston. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're not flying to Boston, man. You're flying to Europe.
oh yeah, I want to go to London, bad.
I'm gonna buy your plane ticket and everything else you got to pay for, but I'm buying your plane ticket. We're going to Europe.
We'll get. Okay, she wants to know about OJ. Yeah. Okay, so I feel, me personally, 100% guilty.
Okay.
That's what she meant. That was the question she meant. She just said. She's
Do
asking you.
do I think OJ's guilty?
Yes.
Uh, I don't think how any reasonable uh human being could ever believe OJ Simpson was innocent.
Yeah.
I think he should have received the death penalty. Uh, uh,
Johnny Cochran is to blame for that. The way he pulled that
what
trigger.
happens is in America it's so sad because it comes down to race, and uh, and those things really as a Southerner, but growing up in the South, growing up with, and with Ku Klux Klan because I knew so many KKK members, and when we grow up in the South, with the Klan and all this right here, and them, you know, you know, throwing out their literature, hiding behind there, and black people just want the same thing that whites do. They want a good job, a good living, their kids to go to good schools, and it's just and for somebody like Johnny Cochran trying to play blacks against whites, it's just really sad. It's kind of like the way gay people are now the new blacks. Everybody wants to hate gay people, and why do you want to hate a gay man because or a gay woman because they sleep with a gay woman or a gay man? Does it really matter? Is it really going to matter in your world if two men get married or two women get married?
No,
Is that going to mess
no, it
with
ain't.
you? Yeah. Is that going to affect with your job or your life? Who cares what
Yeah,
goes
Michelle,
on?
he's saying that Johnny Cochran has pitched the case that way, the OJ case.
Oh, Johnny Cochran played it. The
He played the race card.
Oh, he played the race card. I hate playing the race card. I got into it, Mike, the other day, and you'll love this right here. You know, I was online one day, and somebody said, "You Republicans," and I'm a hardcore Republicans. They said, "You hate Obama because he's black," and I said, "Look, you idiot!" I said, "White people voted for him twice, you stupid son of a bitch."
Michelle, he definitely pulled the race card, though. Come on, man.
Well, Michelle did. I mean, I hate that bitch. I mean, because she played it. She played the race card. And Mike, you've known me a long time. Being a Southern, you've been a Boston. Have you ever heard me really play the race card?
No, you're not a racist. God, you of all people. Shit, you're in a minority of your own.
I mean, you've never heard me say anything bad about black people, Hispanics, or anything like that. Those things don't bother me. I mean,
I'm not an idiot, Michelle. Why you call me an idiot?
why are is, is she calling you an idiot because of me?
I don't support Trump.
Well, let me tell you something, Michelle. I'm the biggest Trump supporter in the world. Anybody who don't like Trump, they can go to hell.
Well, no, see, that's taking it too far. If they don't
No,
support
it's
Trump, they
not
can go.
because it's really not, Mike. Because I get attacked every day because how I voted. And you know what? I was given the God-given right to go out and vote who I wanted to vote for, and I voted for Trump. Okay, and for all these people who didn't vote for Trump, you had the right not to vote for him. So you know what? The people who don't like me because I don't vote because I voted for Trump, then they can go to hell. Mike, I
Oh,
voted
okay.
for.
So you're saying the people that don't like you because you voted for him.
Yes, I had the right.
Because
I had the God-given.
you don't think I should go to hell because I don't like Trump as a
No, no,
president.
no, no, no. I voted for Trump because that was my God-given right. I showed up at the polls that morning to vote for Trump. It was my God-given right as an American to vote for Trump, and I'll vote for him in 2020. But don't, attack me because I voted for him. I mean, I almost get in fistfights with people all the time.
I will give Trump this though. I think he's fucking hilarious.
No, dude's hilarious. Um, so what else you talk about, Mike? We've been going some good stuff. Do you want like play on Parkland for a little bit?
No, because we kind of got an audience right now, so
All right, that's good.
I agree with you, Michelle. I think he's hilarious though.
He's not an embarrassment. I tell you who's an embarrassment is Barack Hussein Obama, who was the face of
No,
ISIS.
no, 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 no. Barack was a very charismatic,
Oh
intelligent
yeah,
man.
good. Every world speaker knew that he doubled the national debt. He was the face of ISIS. He was the cause of Benghazi. He let ISIS take over Iraq and Afghanistan. I mean, the guy was the weakest person we've ever had on national defense. You know, we had 43 million people living in poverty now. We have more people living in food stamps ever when he was in office. The guy was a fucking joke.
No, 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 no. These aren't his. His decisions have to be passed through Congress and everything. They wouldn't give Obama an inch. He tried to do a lot of things, man.
Well, name me one thing he tried to do.
Oh man, what do you want? We can go anywhere with it. He tried to do the about the gun stuff.
How'd
They
that how'd that work out for you?
huh?
How'd that work out for you?
It didn't work out for him either.
This guy was a disaster. He was a joke. He was an embarrassment to any American serviceman who served our country.
No, I don't think so. And I don't talk that way about any. Yeah.
Huh? Look,
I don't hate Trump. I,
I would never, if President Obama came in front of me, I would salute him and I'd shake his hand. Doesn't mean I like him. I hate the son of a bitch. I think he's the
oh,
worst thing in the
that's fine. I don't
But
hate Trump.
I will
I
give
don't.
respect to the office that he held. Now, the
Yeah.
thing that these liberal, stupid Democrats will not do, they will not give the same respect to President Trump that he should have.
Well, I'm basically liberal. I'd give him respect. I give him the respect he deserves, but I think Trump was more of a badass that in the position that he was in before he was a president.
You know, I served in 3 combat zones. I would always salute my president. But now the way the people treat Trump,
I treat him.
Michelle, you just said I should drop the bat. I don't know what that means. Michelle, if you met President Trump, would you shake his hand and salute him?
I think she would.
Well, let's see if she answers. I
Um,
never met a president. I said if I met President Obama, I would salute him and I would shake his hand as a veteran. If you met President Trump, would you shake his hand? Michelle,
she's probably typing. She's a see,
thank you
yeah.
very much. I respect you very much for that, Michelle. I appreciate
Now
you.
let me shine some light on you about Michelle. She's a Boston girl through and through and very outspoken. So she's a fucking great girl to party with.
Well,
Great girl to party with.
well, when I come to Boston, and when I come to Boston, um, me and you are gonna hang out. Michelle, I respect that. You're not like any anti-Trump person. I appreciate that you respect the office of the presidency, and I salute you for that. So, you know, one day I'm gonna take a trip to Boston, and me and you and Mike are gonna go to a pub.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he served.
Oh, Michelle, I was in the army. I was a combat vet. I was in Iraq and Afghanistan infantry.
There
Don't
you
think
go.
so. Don't nobody asked me to sign up. I Nobody drafted me. I don't want serve. I don't want thank you for it. I did it because I wanted to do it.
Michelle, Michelle's good people, dude.
Well,
Like
no,
I
don't say
said,
sorry. Don't say sorry, Michelle. I just wanted to do it. I thought it'd be fun. Next thing I know, I was dropped in a hot landing zone, getting mortared at and fired at and shot in the back of the head.
shit. But yeah, Michelle, if you ever do go up to Boston with me, I know just where to fucking find her too, because she's a fucking party animal. She's real. She's one of the best chicks there is to party with.
Look, when I get the money, the Europe
She
trip,
said sorry for being rude.
look, me and you are going. I want to
She
go to
said,
see.
She said sorry for being rude.
Oh, no, you're not being rude, Michelle. Don't be rude, Michelle. Look, I've had so many things said to me that I've been cussed out, called, shot at. You're not being rude to me, sweetie. But when we go up there, we're gonna go to, which I've always wanted to go. I want to go to a Celtics game.
Celtics?
Yes.
Imagine if we could go up there and Larry Bird was still playing. Shit.
Oh my God.
Oh, Michelle, by the way, he's a ride or die Patriots fan. He loves Tom Brady.
Wait a
He
second. Wait a
loves
second.
Larry Bird.
My first team's the Cowboys. My second team's the Patriots.
But what do you think about Tom Brady?
Greatest of all time. That's my boy, ride or die.
Larry Bird?
Greatest shit talker of all time. Larry Bird will tell you, I'm gonna make this shot and I'm gonna do it. And then when what was his name? When he was the coach, can't think of his name, and he hit that shot, and Larry Bird looked at him and said, I expected it.
Yeah, Reggie Miller.
What? Reggie Miller. When Reggie Miller hit that shot, Bird just looked at him and said, I expected that. But my greatest of all time, and I still love it, Larry Bird walked over there and said, Christmas Day, said, we're going to run a screen. They're going to throw it to me down in the corner. They're going to screen me. I'm going to shoot a three, and we're going to win
Right
this
here.
game.
Right here.
Right here. And they threw it to him. Bird shot, hit the three, and ran by and said, Merry fucking Christmas.
Yeah.
That's a man's man.
Dude, oh, he was. He was. He'll
That's
fight.
when I got you to watching the John Wayne movies.
Yeah, yeah, those are great.
You want me to quote it for you one time?
Oh, please do. This is hilarious, Michelle. Check this out.
So this old guy, this Bruce Dern tears this boy's glasses up, and John Wayne says, "All right, we've seen what you can do with a boy. How are you when it come a little bigger?" And Bruce Dern goes, "You mean you?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm 30 years older than you are. I've had my back broke once and my hip twice. And on my worst day, I could beat the hell out of you." He goes, "I don't think so." And he goes, "You will. Punch, punch."
No, what's the one that I could blow your fucking head off?
Now, they brought the boy out there, his grandson. John Wayne says, "I want to see what I'm buying." They took the hat off, and the guy goes, "I just seen something in your eyes. I just seen a foolish thought. Do you understand me?" He said, "Anything happens, anything at all, your fault, my fault, anybody's fault. My little brother blow that kid's head clean off. Shotgun miss him at 3 feet, it don't matter. A rifle will be just as messy." He said, "But that kid'll be just as dead." He said, "You understand?" And John Wayne just kind of shook his head and he goes, "Say it." He goes, "I understand." He said, "Now the box." And John Wayne threw that key over there to him. He walked over there and opened it up. And John Wayne goes, "That's a thing that dreams are made of." Guy opened it up. John Wayne cocked the shotgun back and put it right between his eyes. He goes, Now you understand. Anything happens, anything at all, your fault, my fault, nobody's fault. I'm gonna blow your head off. No matter no matter what else happens, no matter who gets killed, I'm gonna blow your head off.
The best. Oh man. So, Chris, did you tell me that you were a fan of The Sopranos?
Oh God, I gotta show you this.
Well, anyway, I'm just asking because I
Bro, I
heard they're
gotta
making
send
a
you.
pre.
I gotta send you this thing my sister showed me. My sister was talking about how tough I am, and I don't claim to be tough, man. I mean, my sister thinks I'm the baddest, strongest, toughest person in the world who'd kill anybody. But there was a picture, and it was showed John Gotti walking in there in one of his suits,
Ah,
and it said, "Everybody thinks they're a gangster until a gangster walks in the room." And I said, "Hell yeah."
all right, Michelle. I'll see you later, honey.
Love you, Michelle. Nice talking to you, girl. And what'd your dad say I said about him? Man said never said a word. He died in his cage.
Oh yeah, I love what he said to his son. John Gotti said to his son about snitching on people. He said, "You never tell on nobody." He said, "Even if you stole a fucking church and the steeple was sticking out of your ass, you don't admit to it."
I got arrested one time for possession of marijuana. I mean, they surrounded me, everything, dude. They took me in there. They took me in handcuffs. They took me downstairs. And the chief narcotics officer took the cuffs off of him and goes, "Oh, sit down, let's talk." I said, "Oh, let's talk." He goes, "You want me to handle this case for you?" I said, "Well, yeah, I'd love to get rid of the case." He goes, "Here's this tape recorder." He goes, "All right, this is Detective such and such and such. I'm talking to Christopher Michael Peaks." I reached over and I hit the tape recorder. I said, "Stop. You want to talk? We'll talk." And he goes, "Why'd you turn it off?" I said, "You're not getting me on tape recorder, brother." And he goes, "We know who you bought the dope from." And I said, "Okay, who?" He called his name out. I said, "All right." He said, "We know what he drives." And I said, "What's he drive?" He called out. I said, "Okay." He said, "No, he knows where he lives." And I said, "Okay." And I called out and he goes, he said, "We know what his name is." I said, "What's his name?" He called it out. And I said, "Well, all right." I was kind of doing like this right here. I said, "What do you need me for?" He goes, "Well, here's what we need you to do." He said, "We need you to wear a wire and go in there and make 3 buys from him." And I
Oh,
busted out,
really?
and I busted out laughing. I ripped the thing off, and I said, and I put it down in front of him, and I said, "You must be out of your mind." And he said, "Well, you're going to jail." And I looked at him. I said, "Let me tell you something, pig." I said, "By the time that you get me booked up in here, I'll be bailed the fuck out of jail, and I'll have a lawyer waiting for me." I said, "So why don't you go ahead and you charge me right now?" And he slammed the tape recorder down and goes, "Your ass is going to jail." And I said, "I guarantee you," I said, "start the clock ticking right now." I said, "I'll never set foot in your cage."
Yeah.
And you know what?
Fuck,
You know
fuck
what
making
happened?
those police buys.
And you know what happened? My lawyer took that shit to trial, and they out pleaded down to disorderly conduct and a $200 fine.
Yeah. No probation.
No probation. I said, "You think I'm gonna fucking lie on somebody or tell on somebody
Yeah.
and send this guy to prison, and he's got kids for selling some fucking pot.
Mm-mm.
And the cop walked, and here's what got big, and it wasn't really I think of Bull Frazier, but he walked up there and he stood up after he did that, and he walked up, and he locked the door behind us, and he goes, "You think you're a really big tough man, don't you?" And I said, "Well, not really." I said, "I only weigh about 145 pounds." He goes, "You talk some shit to me." I said, "I'll whoop your ass." I said, "Well, you know what?" I said, "There's two of us in here." I said, "You may win, I may win." I said, "But there's only two, and your cops can't get in here. So if you want to try that," I said, "why don't you go ahead and jump, motherfucker, jump."
Well, like I said, Buell Frazier said basically, I know you got all them boys outside in the white Stetson hats, but it's just me and you in here right now. And I'll get my licks in before them boys come in here.
Well, I had another one like that too, and I got arrested one time. And we was on the side of the road, and there was two of us, and I said, and that was kind of roughed me up and pushing me around. I said, "You know what?" I said, "Y'all really big and tough with those cameras off." I said, "But I tell you what," I said, "why don't you turn those cameras off and turn those bodyguards off, and we'll see who walks away from this."
See, every
And the
time I've
cop
been
goes,
arrested, I've always cases were my charges were always serious, so I've just kept my mouth shut and just
"Oh no, mine was," and the cop goes, "Well, you're a pretty tough guy with two of us." And I said, and the third cop showed up, and he goes, "You're a pretty tough guy right there with all of us sitting there." I said, and the cop who kept talking the shit, I said, "Well, I tell you what," I said, "why don't you tell your boys just sit this one out?"
yeah.
And he said, "You think you could win?" I said, "Well, I don't know, but," I said, "I tell you right now," I said, "the first lick I get in, I'm gonna break your nose." And he said, "You think you could do that?" And I said, "Well, I've been boxing since I was 6 years old." So I said, "I bet I could beat your eyes out of your head."
People don't realize that when you know how to throw your hands, it's a different story.
And the other cop kind of pushed me up against the wall, and I said, "You're pretty tough too." I said, "There's three of y'all against me." I said, you know, and I had my phone out then. I was videotaping all of it. I said, "Keep pushing me, keep pushing me." I said, "Look," I said, "I'll lay this phone down right now. You lay your phone down and take off your badge and take off your gun belt." I said, "And you take it off." I said, "We'll go one at a time."
You weren't handcuffed?
No, not at that time.
Hang on 1 second, Chris. I'm going to get some bag of chips.
All right, bro.
Yeah. Oh, my Anton. Hope, why'd y'all sell that puppy?
What puppy?
You see Bob's wife on here?
No, I didn't. No, no, I missed all of it. I want to get me a new puppy, man. I want a
Well,
Doberman.
they just their daughter just got a puppy, an English bulldog, and they sold it. They just sold it.
All right, so Mike, it's just me and you now. You want to do a little Parkland thing now?
Yeah, yeah, a little practice run.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll start off with this. That day, Chris, all the senior doctors at Parkland were attending a medical conference in Galveston, and only relatively junior
No,
doctors
I
were
want
left
to
to
go
fill.
at Parkland at the scene.
Yeah, I know. This is how I get into it.
Uh,
Oh, Bob just what? He just threw one at you, Chris.
oh, let me see what Bob say. Uh, well, Bob, I'm not a tough guy. I only weigh about 145 pounds, but
Nah,
Bob. Let me tell you, I never told anybody this. I don't know if I ever told
Bob,
Mike
let
this,
him
but
know, man. Don't let him talk all this smack, Bob.
Bob, I was in the infantry. 11 Bravo. But so I'll let you lead then. So I mean, I always let you lead, and then I counterpunch. So we'll do practice. You want to do this?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, brother.
So like I said, all the senior doctors at Parkland that day were at a medical conference in Galveston. So a group of mostly young interns and residents who were none of them, by the way, were pathologists, and who had only 22 minutes of frenzied mayhem in Kennedy's presence. Most importantly, they were only trying to resuscitate the president. Not one pathologist was there. Did you freeze up on me?
No, I was waiting for my turn.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just shooting.
26 trained personnel saw with their own eyes the back of the president's head blasted out. Of all the doctors at Parkland, that was a trauma hospital. They were trained in gunshot wounds. Dr.
Wrong.
Perry.
No, no, that's wrong because all the senior doctors were not there that day. The ones that were there were trained personnel, but none of them were pathologists.
Pathologists do autopsies. Okay, they were not trying to do autopsies. They were trying to resuscitate the president. Dr.
Okay.
Perry, Dr. Perry, the main doctor who was working on him, said 3 times the wounded throat was a wound of entry. They never dissected the wound. He said the throat wound was a wound of entry. Doctor, uh,
He
uh,
was never 100% adamant about that.
oh, yes, he was.
No, he
Three
wasn't.
times
No,
he
he wasn't.
said it. 3 times he said it was a wound of entry. Doctor,
Because they never turned the president over to see the entrance wound in the back. That's
doc,
why.
Dr. Perry said there were the wounds of throat was a wound of entry. Dr. Crenshaw said the wound of entry. Dr. Crenshaw said the back of the head was blasted out. Now, if we want to keep going
Dr.
now,
Crenshaw Dr.
let's
Crenshaw is a full-blown
oh
liar.
brother, let's keep going. The main nurse right there said the head wound was a wound of exit.
The
Let's
main
keep
nurse,
going.
huh?
Huh?
The main nurse?
The main nurse. Dr.
Wow.
Perry said Dr. Perry said 3 times it was a wound of entry. Now, Mike, let's go back to Parkland. If it wounds if it makes more sense for a wound to hit you in the throat and to come out the back than it does from the back to come out the throat. All right, Dr. Crenshaw, Mike.
Well, I'm listening.
Okay. it makes more sense for the wound to come in the throat and to come out the back because you're firing on a downward slope. Now, Dr. Crenshaw said the wound that came in the throat was a wound of entry and it came out the back. Dr. Crenshaw also said the head wound was a wound of exit. Dr. O.
Now, here we go right here, Chris. Dr. Jenkins and Dr. Baxter, their experiences in Trauma Room 1 at Parkland did not qualify them to reach conclusions about the direction from which the fatal missiles were fired. That is, whether the wounds were exit or entrance. If we said it looked like an entrance wound, that was just our speculation.
They also said the cerebellum was dripping out the back into the bucket.
That's impossible.
How's that impossible? They washed it with their own eyes, Mike.
Because the cerebellum was intact. That part of the head was intact.
Look at the autopsy photos. They watched it come out the back.
Nothing came out the back. We can watch the Zapruder film.
Okay, I'm talking about the head wound when they said it was dripping out in the back of the bucket. Now, Mike, you cannot deny that.
No, I can't deny that because obviously they're wrong. Because in the Zapruder film, nothing happens to the back of his head. It all happens to the front.
So they were lying when it was dripping out in the bucket.
What doctor was that?
Dr. O'Cole. I can't pronounce his name.
Wait a minute, are you talking about Bethesda?
No, I'm talking about Parkland.
Oh, then who are you talking about said that?
Dr. Perry said that.
Thank you, Bob. He agrees with me. I mean, it's just obvious from the Zapruder film is the smoking gun, really. Nothing happens to the back of his head. It happens to the front.
Okay, well, they said it was dripping out in the bucket. Mike, you said that yourself.
No, I didn't.
Me yourself that you'd have a hard time with Parkland. Dr. Perry said, I did not. Dr. Malcolm Perry, who was a trained. All right, look, they took him at Parkland.
Dr. Malcolm Perry was a 34. Hold on a second. Dr. Perry was 34 years old at the time, just completed residency the previous year. He was not that experienced, buddy.
All right, well, let me tell you something there. If you want to go in Bethesda, none of the Bethesda doctors had any experience in gunshot wounds.
Absolutely, they did.
No,
Dr. Fink. Dr. Fink was a forensic pathologist.
Was under orders. Dr. Fink was told to keep his mouth shut.
Only from the Kennedy family. They did not want that body dissected.
From the FBI.
No, that's another conspiracy nonsense.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I've read Dr. Fink.
I'll murder you with that in the real.
I can read it from the Warren Commission. Okay.
Okay.
And the Dr. Perry said 3 times the throat wound was a wound of entry. That makes more sense from the wound of entry coming out the back of Kennedy's.
I just told you what Dr. Perry said, that their experiences in Trauma Room at Parkland did not qualify them to reach conclusions about the direction from which the fatal missiles were fired. This is whether the wounds were exit or entrance. All we did was speculate. We didn't see the back wound.
Dr. Perry said on 3 different occasions the wound in the throat was a wound of entry.
Again, do I have to read it again? All we did was speculate.
I can show you his YouTube things where he said it was a wound of entry. Dr. Crenshaw said it was a wound of entry.
So what was the back wound?
It was coming from the neck through the back. Now, if you want to go into Bethesda, Mike, they never dissected the bullet wounds. They never went from the back to the throat.
The Kennedys did not want them to rip that body apart.
Okay, and how did
Well,
the Kennedys were not in charge of the autopsies, the doctors were.
no, the Kennedys were very much in power because their
Right.
doc,
So, right.
because Jack's personal
So,
doctor was down there, Doctor Buckley.
so the doctors can tell you that we can stop the autopsy wounds.
What's that?
So the doctors can tell you we can stop the autopsy wounds.
We can stop.
Well, they never dissected the tract of the bullet wounds.
Okay, so my question is if the throat wound was an entry wound, what was the back wound?
Exit.
Exit. So this
Yeah.
shot was fired from where?
Uh, from
Because
up
you're
under.
contradicting yourself. Because in our
No,
last
I'm not.
debate,
No, no,
you
I'm
said
not.
yes, you did. You
No,
said the
no,
back
I'm
wound.
not. I told you where the first shot was fired from up under the
You
throat.
told me we can look it over in the thing. You said the back wound was a shot of entry, and I question you on why didn't it go through the body?
Well, now now after researching everything, I've now concluded that the throat wound was a wound of entry, the back wound was a wound of exit.
Okay, so that means they would have to have been shooting from the president's left front.
Probably from the right front under the triple underpass where S.M. Holland said where he heard the first shot
No,
fired from.
because it wouldn't have exited to the right of the president's back. It would have
Well, I
exited.
mean, if it was hit from the back, it wouldn't have exited his neck.
Yes, it definitely would have on a downward
A
trajectory.
downward slope, it would have exited his nipple.
No, it was the trajectory was. That's almost going straight down, dude. Come on.
It's not gonna go. It's not gonna hit him in the back and then turn left and go out to the throat, Mike.
Turn left. It's already
Mike, if
going
it
left.
hits him in the right shoulder, it has to turn left to exit the throat.
Only if the shot wasn't directly
All
behind
right,
the
Mike. Well,
president.
let me ask you this: if he was hitting the back, why did he not lunge toward the back? Why did he grab for his throat? Because that's where the first thing
That's
he
where
felt
it
was.
exited from.
What? But you would not have felt that. You would have felt the first shot fired from the back.
But what would you go for? Because you couldn't breathe, so he'd go for your throat.
No, you would lunge for the back. That's where you shot from first.
I totally disagree with that. If I couldn't
Well,
breathe, I'd reach my throat.
well, he wouldn't even felt that first, Mike.
He couldn't breathe
How do you know he couldn't breathe?
because the windpipe was fractured.
You're not a pathologist. You don't know where it actually exited at.
I've read the documents.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure you believe everything they said, even though it was held in captivity for 2.5 days.
I do believe it because it's been confirmed by 3 different inspection crews of this case, not just the Warren Commission, the HSCA, the Rockefeller Commission. All of them said the same thing.
All right, Mike, let me ask you one question. If you're shot on a downward slope and it hits you right above the shoulder blade, where is the weapon going to exit? Where's the missile going to exit? Not your neck. It's going to
Yes,
exit.
it is. Yes, it is.
How? It has to. All right, so it
The
turned.
shooter is not directly behind you.
So it turned then, Mike. It had to turn.
My God.
My God, don't get mad at me.
If this is the president's back and it comes in this way, that means the shooter is up at an angle, not directly behind.
Right, okay. That's fine, Mike. Here we go. Hit right here in the back. He's turned down. Where's it going to
Okay.
exit at? Right below the nipple. It has to turn and go up through
No.
the neck.
That's if you're basically shooting straight on top of the guy.
Oh, so now you're saying he's changed the direction when he's shooting. Okay, that's a good point. Okay.
He
Yeah.
wasn't right underneath them when
Yeah.
he shot that
That
shot.
dog don't hunt.
Of course, there we go. Let's quote the JFK movie, that real
Yeah,
factual movie.
yeah. That dog don't hunt.
Mm.
Well, come on, brother. I'm waiting for your next argument.
I really don't have much written down.
Right, so you're gonna say it's gonna go through his back and then turn left and go through his neck.
I'm not saying nothing about turning left. It doesn't have to.
Every doctor said
Oswald was shooting from an angle, man.
every doc. Yeah, but an angle is not gonna turn, Mike.
The angle doesn't have to turn. It's going that way anyway.
Well, then yes, then it should have exited his nipple.
No. It should have exited his nipple if he was right on top of him.
Okay, so if you get hit in the back, then all right, okay, Mike, I'm gonna play your game. So it hits him right below the shoulder blade. Now where is it?
Like in the trap muscle, kinda.
Now where's it gonna end?
If Oswald is off to the side, it's gonna come down. It's gonna come from a left-right
Bull
trajectory.
fucking shit.
What?
Bull fucking shit.
Okay. Yeah.
3 times Dr. Perry said the throat wound was a wound of entry. Dr.
Again,
Perry
I
shot.
have to say this. I have to say this again. What Dr. Perry said.
I mean, I can show you the YouTube videos where Dr. Perry said that.
But he
And you
said
know what?
it
And
was
Mike,
only speculation
Mike,
as
you
it
know
being
what?
an entrance wound. They had no idea there was a hole in the
Mike,
back.
Mike, do you know why he was taken to Parkland? Because they were the only doctors who were trained in gunshot trauma.
Wrong. That's wrong. They
No,
was
it's
taking the
not.
parking because it was the closest hospital to
No,
them.
it's not.
The
That's bullshit.
motorcade,
No, it's not.
the people that established the motorcade route had it all set up. Had something happened, they go to Parkland Hospital.
Oh, and you believe that?
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Well, you believe the Warren Commission, so that somehow that doesn't surprise me.
No, I believe the Warren Commission, the HSCA, the Church Committee, the Rockefeller Committee. I believe all them.
The Rockefeller Commission was a joke, first of all.
Of
The
course it was.
HSCA also said there was a conspiracy,
Only because of the Dicta Belt recording.
which the Dictabelt recording depends on who you believe. Says there were 4 to 5 shots fired.
It's been thoroughly debunked.
No, it has not.
Oh, yes, it has.
Oh no, it hasn't, because I did my thorough research on that.
The radio that picked up those sounds that they said there was 4 shots. That radio was a guy sitting on a motorcycle at the at the Trade Mart.
Way behind him, and there were already there have been like 7 tests on that, and out of 7 of them, 4 of them said there were more than 4 shots.
The radio that picked up that Dictabelt recording was not even in Daily Plaza, bro.
Well, Mike, you know what, brother? I'm going to use your own words against you because you've already said that there were so many background noises in there that you couldn't tell where they were coming from.
Oh, you know that's you're not using those words against me. I agree with that.
So out of the 7 doctors that was working on him, all of them were mistaken, correct?
What? I'm sorry. What did you say?
Of the 7 doctors that was working on Kennedy, they were all mistaken, right?
Mistaken about what?
By where they thought the shots were from.
Well, when it comes to the throat wound, they were not mistaken because it was in their own words that they were just speculating. So no, they weren't
No,
mistaken.
Dr. Perry said 3 times, and I can show you YouTube's. He said that it was a throat wound that was hit with the front.
I have his own words right here in front of me in the
Well, I don't
actual
have them
Warren
written down,
report.
but but Dr. Perry said they were from the front.
Chris, I have the Warren report right in front of me. I'm reading his words right
You
now.
know, the Warren Commission to me is like the Bible.
You just said that you got his testimony out of the Warren Commission. The
No,
fuck?
no, 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 no. I did not say that. I said I had Dr. Perry's Warren. I had Dr. Perry's testimony after the shots were fired.
Well, it would have to be after the shots were fired. He couldn't have made a determination before the shots were.
Yes, yes, you're correct on that. But I have Dr. Perry's words that was said they were fired from the front.
Well, then I know he didn't say that indefinitely. No way. He said it out of speculation.
So this doctor was just totally wrong.
No, not wrong. He was speculating. It looked like a wound of entry, especially when you don't have the president turned over to see another wound in the back. Just speculation. They weren't wrong.
They did see the wound in the back.
No, they didn't. He was never turned over, man.
All right, so I guess we've done enough tonight on that. So we'll have to say that till we do our
But hey, let's can we both agree on this? That little chit chat, that little 10-minute chit chat we just had on the on Parkland is good promotion for the upcoming segment.
Oh, I think it's excellent.
Hell yeah. Not to mention, I think we're having a pretty good podcast so far.
Yeah, I think we are too. I mean, this has been really good. You smoke menthols, bro?
Yeah.
You gotta quit smoking.
Yeah, remember I was talking to you last time about your the little contraption you had? I didn't know it was that cheap.
Yeah, I want you to quit smoking, man.
Matter of fact, Chris, do you that little bottle of juice that you showed me the last time we spoke? Do you
No.
still have that same bottle?
Yep.
That's unbelievable. So you haven't bought a new bottle since?
No, I want you to quit smoking, man, just for your health. I mean,
No,
you're my
thank you.
brother. I mean,
Good looking out. Good looking out.
well, look, I mean, you gotta understand, bro. I don't have any family. So, I
Right
mean,
on.
you're like the close, and not that it's wrong, take this wrong, 'cause I'm drunk. You're like my brother, man.
Dude, first of all, you're not that drunk. You're speaking perfectly fine. I mean,
But you're like my brother.
yeah, I agree. We have a lot in common, and despite how much we don't have in common.
I mean,
I
y'all, I
mean,
mean,
we've established a goddamn podcast show together.
like, I hate to say it, but you said, Chris, I need you to go do something for me. Don't ask any questions. To the back of the head, walk away.
uh, to the back of my head.
No,
Oh,
I'd say, okay, Mike, give me the
enough
address.
said. Yeah, same here.
And
Matter of fact, if you told me that you needed, this is totally um, this isn't true. I'm just saying if you told me you needed some fucking something mailed down to you, some weed or something, I'd do that in a heartbeat.
But when we go to the Celtics game, we're getting on the first row, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy some tickets.
Oh, my buddy Henry's on. Henry, what's up, buddy?
Henry, what's up, man?
Um, Chris, I told you I had a good friend that died recently back home in Boston.
No, you didn't tell me that, bro.
Yeah, well, the kid I grew up with at Kelly Park. He was probably the greatest basketball player I have ever seen in my own eyes. Henry was like his best friend, but Henry's a good kid. Henry always tunes into our podcast too. I like that.
Do you know what position I played in basketball?
What?
I played two positions. First of all, I guarded the shooter, and second of all, I was.
Oh, you mean the zone defense?
Yeah, and then I was the shooter. I mean, 3-point shot, man, I could knock the lights out of it.
Maybe it's because your favorite basketball player is Larry Bird, or your favorite shooter.
They set a screen, and bam. And my nickname was the Hammer. Because when a guy drove the lane, I would fucking tackle him like a football player.
Oh, old school Detroit Pistons style.
Oh, they call me Bill Lambert.
Bill Lambert used to beat the shit out of Larry Bird. I'll tell you that much.
I remember there was one time I got kicked out of the game, was in middle school, and this kid was driving the lane. He had a wide open layup, and he went up for a shot, and I hit him shoulder in the back of the legs and took him down and gave him a concussion. I got kicked out of the game.
That's a flagrant.
Well, he missed a shot and didn't play again. Do you know what position I played in football?
Nah, running back?
Middle linebacker.
Okay. But I love telling all these Boston people that tune in, like Henry, that I got this Southern kid that's my podcast partner, and his favorite goddamn sports teams, uh, New England Patriots, Tom Brady. He fucking absolutely loves them.
But the Cowboys, man.
Yeah, I know, but I've heard you talk about Tom Brady like it's Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and you also have you ever told these Southern boys about Southerners in the Rebel Yell?
Oh yeah, no, I
We
forget
do
the
it.
Rebel Yell.
All right, let me do it. All right, now imagine 15,000 Southerners coming out from the woods going, "La!"
Coming at the Union soldiers.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
And the rebel battle flag, man, is sick.
It's not the rebel flag.
Uh, well, there was a rebel flag and the Bible flag, which I hate when they make, which really pisses me off, man, because the Klan and these racist groups has hijacked the Confederate battle flag because, the Confederate battle flag is sick, man. You look at the rebel battle flag, I mean, that is.
I mean, I told you. I think the rebel flag is probably one of the coolest looking flags. I think. And along with the British Union Jack, I like that flag too.
I've got to do it again because and la 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 la
know what? They probably were drinking Jack too.
Oh, he's drinking moonshine, brother.
Oh yeah, that's right, Sean.
And when you got a bunch of Southern boys coming out there with you know, we's mean, man.
Fucking barefoot and everything.
No shoes, no clothes. You know, just our weapons, and we's coming out there and
Putting up a mother putting up a fucking fight.
we kicked your asses.
Well, we won, but
But we kicked your fucking asses.
no, you do. You're no one disagrees with that. You put up a fight. But there ain't no we in us anymore. We're all together now.
No, there's no. I mean, there shouldn't be. I mean,
No, we're way past that shit, man. Slavery's gone.
well, I mean, in your opinion, had the South won, how long do you think slavery would have lasted? Maybe the 1880s or 1890s or something.
When did the Civil War end exactly?
Well, you know, it ended in 1865, but they came up with a plan that they was going to pay all the aristocracies money to free the slaves, and Lincoln said, "No, we're not going to do that." And if they just did that, then you know we wouldn't have had that war.
Hmm?
You, bro, I want you to quit smoking.
I know, man.
I'll buy you one of these vapes, man, if you quit smoking.
Man, I'll buy one. What'd you say? It's $30?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll buy one. I'm not quite sure how much better that is for you, though.
I mean, cigarettes have like 200 carcinogens. This has one, so it's got to be better. I can tell you this right here. You know, when I used to drink and then uh, smoke all night, I'd wake up coughing black shit out of my lungs. I
I
don't do
do, I do, I do.
well. I don't do it anymore.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's funny you say that, man. I used to hate that. I remember when it first started happening. I was like, "What the fuck?"
I was dealing with my lawyer on my estate today, and I was like, you know, I said, can I buy my parents a tomb? I said, they've been dead for almost a year and a half. And my lawyer goes, yeah, you can buy them a tomb. And
They ain't got a tomb.
no, dude, because I was waiting. This stupid lawyer that I had, he was trying to get every goddamn penny he had out of me. And I fired him. And the lawyer I had said, yeah, go buy him a tomb. And then my parents buried him. And you know what really bothers me? It hurt me, man. I've got an uncle that's probably worth $1 million.
Now,
And
would that be your mom or dad's brother?
that was my dad's brother.
Okay.
And his probably worth $1 million. And, you know,
Yeah.
Paula's got a little bit of money. She ain't rich. But, you know, she paid for them to be buried. And my uncle never offered a penny. And Paula buried them. And my dad would be going crazy thinking that she didn't get her money. And it just really hurt me. My uncle's worth $1 million. And he offered to bury his brother.
Man, that I don't blame you for that bothering you, bro.
It hurt me. It really did hurt me.
I believe it. I can tell it did. I can tell it did just by the change of tone. But how long has it been now, Chris, since they passed?
My mom died on September 26th. My dad died on February 15th, and the lawyer I had was trying to
No,
get
what year though?
Oh, my mom died in 2016. Dad died in 2017. They don't have a marker, so my
Oh
lawyer.
dear Lord! So this is they're they've only been gone for a little bit of time.
Yeah, and the lawyer told me, he said, "No, go buy it, go buy their tomb." But my uncle, who's worth millions, wouldn't even pay for his brother to be buried.
Is there a reason why?
He's a cheap son of a bitch.
Did they get along?
Oh, that was his favorite brother. And my Aunt Paula, who, she's not wealthy, and she wrote out a $2,300 check.
How much does a goddamn tombstone go for?
Oh, man. My dad said he wanted a black tombstone with a train on it and something, so I'm going to buy him a tombstone tomorrow.
Now, is he buried right next to your mom, or
Yeah,
so? Do they want like a joint tombstone?
yeah.
Yeah, man. Get this estate sold. Get your little money and do what you gotta do, man. I don't know
And
why that estate ain't sold already.
yeah, I don't know either, bro. But thinking about my parents sitting up there with no tombstone, and it's just. And then for him not even offer $1 to help bury him. But I've already made my decision. Me and him will never speak again.
I don't blame you. Hey, I don't barely speak to my brother at all. One of my brothers at all. So it's a shit feeling.
Yeah, it is. So, one thing you want to talk about before we end our podcast tonight?
Uh, uh, no, I think this was a good one.
It was, bro. It was a good one.
So yeah, I'll have it uploaded, and over the next couple days, I'll keep working. I'll keep plugging away on my JFK thing.
All right, bro. We'll talk soon.
All right, brother.
Bye.
Later.
Love you.